Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm someone who has a busy day almost every day. And even with my wife working at home, we still struggle to find the time to do all the grocery shopping and make a good home cooked meal every night. So I decided to start looking into a few online meal kit delivery companies a few months ago. And as you may have seen in some of my earlier videos, if you follow the channel, I've been trying them out to see what they're like and which one I like best. So this is how I came across Hungryroot, a company that specializes in grocery delivery, but basically works like a meal kit service because all the groceries are customized to recipes that you order online, and I've really loved using them so far. So to give you a clear idea of my experience with them, and to help you decide if they'd be a good match for you, I'll be going over some of the features that they offer, both the good and the bad aspects that I've experienced in the name of being 100% honest, and I'll also be breaking down their cost. Now, I will say that I'm not someone who particularly likes cooking unless it's steak on a barbecue, but this company does expect you to actually make the food yourself. So if you're more interested in having ready-made meal kits delivered right to your door, then you might want to try something else like Factor 75, which I also tried out and reviewed as well. But I will say that the meals are designed to take around 10 or so minutes to prepare, so you won't have to spend that much time prepping them, and you can actually learn quite a few cool tricks in the kitchen too. And if at any point you do want to check out Hungryroot, be sure to use the special link that I left down in the description, as it'll instantly give you a discount that you wouldn't be able to get if you went straight to their website. So there are a few things I should touch on before we get into the details. Firstly, Hungryroot is a grocery delivery service that started in 2015. They give you the specific ingredients you need to cook the meals based on their meal options, which you can find on their website or on their app. And they have quite a wide variety of options to choose from, even for those who are vegan and vegetarian, lactose intolerant, or want to avoid things like soy or only eat fish and so on and so forth. Now, in order to get started with them, all you need to do is sign up with your email address and give a few details about yourself. And then they'll give you a questionnaire that's essentially designed to help them get a clear picture of what you're looking for in terms of your dietary needs, as well as whether you have any specific preferences or allergies. After that's done, you pick the recipes that you want to make, pay, and they deliver the goods right to your door. It's really straightforward, it's been easy, it's tasty and healthy, all of which is what I really liked about them, as the whole point of using them is to make my and my family's lives easier. Okay, so ingredient quality is definitely one of the most important aspects of any meal kit service, as you'll want to know that you're getting the best quality for your money, and that's where Hungryroot really stands out in my opinion. They guarantee you fresh groceries with every delivery, and in the 2 months that my family and I used them, we never experienced anything other than fresh. The produce was crisp and the vegetables were never soft or damp at all. But if you ask me, the best part of the ingredients, which for me was unquestionably and is unquestionably protein, they were all very tender and well preserved, and nothing had any weird smells, blood, or any indications that it was going bad at all. Oh, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee where you can always send a picture of any problematic food you get, and they'll make you a full refund just in case that they do make a mistake and end up sending you something that's past its prime. Now, like I said earlier, this isn't a pre-cooked meal service. You have to actually make the food yourself, but on the plus side, they do keep the recipe simple enough to prepare, and it generally takes about 10 or 12 minutes or something like that to prepare, and you don't need to be a chef to pull them off, which it was good for me. They include really easy to follow step-by-step guides to cooking and preparing each meal, and honestly, you only really need to pay attention to using the right ingredients for the right meal and actually follow the steps. Even I, who have two left hands in the kitchen, found it pretty easy. Plus, I learned how to make a really good ribeye steak and sweet kale salad, which my wife absolutely loves every time I make it. So bonus points there. They definitely took my cooking skills to the next level. Okay, so one of the other most important things about any meal kit service is what the meals actually taste like. Well, the freshness of their ingredients here really makes a massive difference, as every meal tastes fresh and is bursting with flavor. The first meal I'll talk about was the grilled chicken and crispy Brussels bowl. Now, I'm really particular about my chicken because if it's dry, I really just can't stomach it. It's gross to me and I won't eat it. But every time I followed their instructions, the chicken came out tender and easy to chew. And I was a bit skeptical about making the Brussels sprouts crispy, but surprisingly, they really enhance the texture of the whole meal. Even one of my kids was willing to try it because it looked so good to him. He didn't eat more than one bite, but that's because he's 3 and he hates anything that looks green. So the fact that he was willing to try a bite is a win in my book. Now, the next one that we really liked was the seared salmon and sriracha salad. While I'm someone who generally prefers my salmon fresh caught, I will say that their farm bred salmon was surprisingly hard for me to differentiate from the wild caught salmon that I'm used to. It was soft, juicy, and very tasty. It also had a really nice color. They managed to balance all the flavors of each meal really well, in my opinion, with all the ingredients, and you can really tell that they put a lot of thought and experience into crafting each recipe to make sure that you get the tastiest and healthiest options available. And finally, I'll also say that I really enjoyed the steak with salsa verde and black beans. So I'm a huge steak lover, and honestly, I was very skeptical that they could pull off a good steak, especially for the price. But again, it really surprised me that the meat was really soft and tender, and the black beans made the meal a lot more filling and added just the right kind of flavor to help balance the steak out. I actually doubled up my portion for that one so that I could enjoy more of it the next meal. Now, what's also nice is that they include all of the sauces and spices you need for each meal in each delivery, which are different for each meal. So out of all the meal kit services that I've tried so far, and if you check out my channel like I mentioned, you'll see that it's most of the big names that are out there. I've got to say that Hungryroot definitely goes the extra mile in terms of ensuring that every dietary need and preference is covered by their menu. They've got vegan and vegetarian meals, meals for meat eaters or people who only eat fish, soy-free meals, nut-free meals, dairy-free meals, and even specifically egg-free meals, which I never heard of before, but it's good to know in case that's what you're looking for, or if you're allergic to eggs, which again, I also haven't heard of before. They also have an option to help you watch your weight by offering meals that have 500 calories or less, although if you're looking to bulk up like me, you'll have to order double portions or stick to the meat dishes or even vegan dishes, as these can contain surprisingly high amounts of protein too. So in terms of pricing, Hungryroot doesn't offer their service in plans, but rather on a week-to-week basis depending on how many servings you want that week. Now, like most other meal kit services, they do let you pause at any time or skip a week whenever you want to, and this makes it easier to decide how you'd like to plan your meal. Now, they have 2 offers for portions, 2 servings per meal or 4, and while I did find that the 2 servings were a bit small, 4 was definitely enough. Plus, they let you add as many portions as you want per week, so you can always scale it up from there. So essentially, if you only want 6 servings per week for 2 people, you'll pay around $70, but this can also go as low as $65 depending on the meals you order. If you want to double this up like I did for my family's meal, you just double it and it comes to double the price, which was around $140 per week. Now, the more portions you order with them, the less you pay, of course. For example, if you go with 14 servings a week or more, you'll only be paying just under about $10 per serving, which makes it a lot more affordable. And again, if you do want to try out Hungryroot with a bit of a discount, then use the special link that I left in the description because, like I said, it'll automatically apply a discount that's not available if you went straight to their website. Now, in terms of customer service, it's an important aspect of any business, especially a food company. You always want to know if you can actually get in touch with them if you ever need to. So you can find their customer service options available on either their website or on their app, and they're pretty responsive and won't leave you hanging. Just in my experience, you're likely going to get better service during the week than over the weekend, so don't freak out if they're a bit slow on Sunday afternoon. They'll definitely be a lot more responsive on Monday. Alternatively, you can always call them, and this will likely guarantee you a better response whenever you need them. Otherwise, you can basically ask about anything or complain about something if you feel the need to. They're really helpful, and in the few calls that I had with them, they've been incredibly friendly, so don't feel afraid to reach out. Okay, so in terms of packaging, Hungryroot keeps it pretty straightforward. The food comes in little plastic lunch boxes that are really easy to open and help keep your ingredients fresh. And you can either keep the ingredients in them or transfer them to whatever kind of containers that you'd like to. It's really up to you, but personally, I prefer to just keep them in the containers as it made sorting out all the ingredients for each meal much easier, and it saved me a lot of space in my fridge. But again, of course, it's really up to you. So in terms of sustainability, I'll say that the majority of their meat, fish, and produce are all sourced from sustainable farms, and while some of their produce do contain GMOs, it's really more of the vegan side of things that does this. Otherwise, all the packaging is fully recyclable and comes in paper bags or boxes, depending on the amount you order, which means you won't have much extra waste. Plus, I really like that I could reuse the little lunch boxes around the house or for school lunches for the kids, which is a nice addition. Now, I will say that I think that using the website is a lot easier than using the app. While the app certainly isn't bad and it's pretty straightforward to use, the website just gives you easier functionality and more clarity in terms of seeing what the recipe looks like. Obviously, while you're cooking, you can always use the app to follow the recipe. I thought that this was the easiest way to actually follow along with the recipes. And especially for the initial sign up in your first order, I would definitely recommend using the website. It just makes things a bit easier. Also, they have quite a few different meals to choose from, which can take a while to scroll through on the mobile app. So my recommendation again is to use the website at least at first until you get used to their menu, and then you can always switch to the app from there. So now that I've gone over the details of Hungryroot, would I still recommend them? So if you're looking for ready-made meals delivered right to your door, then I'd probably say that you should try out Factor 75, which specializes in pre-cooked and ready-to-eat meals. And I'll link my review down in the description for them as well. But if you prefer to prepare your meals fresh and really appreciate the quality of a home-cooked meal, then I'd highly suggest that you give Hungryroot a try. Their meals are easy to make and their recipes will really help to improve your overall cooking skills, even if you're a total novice like myself. The ingredients were always fresh and it saved my wife and me a lot of time when it came to doing the weekly shopping, which is always a chore that we hate and we both try to avoid doing when we can. And honestly, if you're just looking for good, healthy home-cooked meals that are simple, don't require you to experiment much to enjoy with them, and don't break the bank, then I'd certainly say Hungryroot might be for you. So that about sums up my experience with Hungryroot, and I do hope that this review has helped give you a better idea of what they're about and whether you'd like to try them out or not. I've tried quite a few of these services in the past, and I'll honestly say that they offer a better selection in terms of dietary options than most services do, which is great if you're particular about what you can eat. And just to reiterate, if you do feel like trying out Hungryroot with a little bit of a discount, be sure to use the special link I left down in the description because, like I said before, it'll instantly apply a discount that's not available on their website. Now, I do try to go over as much as possible in these reviews, but if there's anything else you'd like answered, or if you want to find out more about them, feel free to drop a comment in the video and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for more honest reviews. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.